Yesterday we saw two senior Conservatives, looking as if they are expressing guilt for what they started. Mrs May questions Suella Braverman's new bill, but of course Mrs May was the person who began the hostile environment, and George Osborne has praised Gary Lineker. He said, I think Gary Lineker has had a good week because he's pulled off that rare trick. He's actually become a martyr without having to be burned at the stake, because it looks as if he might be returning to the BBC. He is returning to the BBC. I think Gary Lineker, if you've taken a penalty for England in a World Cup final, you'll be able to withstand this kind of pressure. So he's stuck to what he feels strongly about. And personally, I think some of the language used on immigration by some Conservatives, not all, is not acceptable. That's quite an impressive climb down by somebody who, again, was part of the original problem. As Chancellor of the Exchequer. It's these people who have who really are responsible for beginning the problem. It's good to hear them criticising the way the problem is developing. But we now need a global response. We need this government to realise that it could do some good, and the good it can do is by getting other countries together to actively discuss, for example, global migration, because the problem that we have is nothing compared to the problem that Italy, for example, has got, or the problem that Greece has had for 20 years. I remember writing to a variety of Home Secretaries and Foreign Secretaries about the problem that existed in Greece, and actually about the danger of Greece being involved in the Frontex agency when it was clearly responsible for torturing migrants who had come to its country. Evidence was clear. And it promised, as part of the European Court of Human Rights agreement, not only to apologise, but also to restructure 4 of its laws, none of which it has done. So this is part of the problem with the European Court of Human Rights and with the whole European justice system, is it doesn't have the teeth to force the countries to actually do what it says, what it orders them to do. So 20 years on, Greece still hasn't done what it promised to do. That's a shame, but we have the same sort of problem. And we are looking to Greece, unfortunately, under this present government and under Suella Braverman, we're looking to the way Greece has responded to the huge influx of migrants, particularly with a thing called pushback, which pushes the migrant boats back into the water, often to their death. It's not an attractive story.